What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dan's Golf World Show, the official golf show of Sports Illustrated. We, once again, as always, have an action-packed show here for you. We're going to be taking a look at the results from our predictions, as well as how the players did at the Zurich Classic, the one and only team event on the regular PGA Tour season. Also, we found out this week that the LPGA had a major, and the winner apparently can't swim. That's some tough news to find out once you're already in the water. We'll jump into that. Joaquin Niemann dominating on Live Golf. The dude has won half the season. We're going to take a look at him as well. And we also can't forget Marco Penge. He was suspended for gambling. He comes back, suspension's up, and the dude kicks off with a win. Pretty phenomenal. I like that. Either way, we're covering it all right here on the Dan's Golf World Show. The Zurich Classic is over, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't around. I didn't watch much of it. I was kind of keeping up on the PGA Tour app, seeing results. I was busy. I was up at the NFL draft all weekend, and the Jumbotrons there weren't playing much golf. So I did, unfortunately, miss out on a lot of the action, but it was pretty action-packed. I mean, Josh, what are we talking here that's going on out there at the Zurich? What are some of the highlights we need to know about?
Dude, two first-name winners.
First-name winners?
Or, never mind.
First-time winners.
First-time winners.
All right, here we go.
Nikolai Erasmus Hogard actually lost by a stroke.
That sucks.
To Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin.
Ben Griffin. I don't know if you guys follow him on social. Dude's a great follow. He's been like documenting his entire journey, like onto the PGA Tour. He's always giving like an inside look. Like he'll do like a breakdown of like what it cost me this week to play on the PGA Tour. And it's a lot of fun.
Wait, that's that guy?
He's one of the guys. There's a lot of guys who do it, but he's, I think, one of the only guys who's an actual PGA Tour player who's doing it. There's some Korn Ferry guys and other guys who are doing it too. But I don't know. It tends to be the most interesting from like the higher level players because their expenses are much higher. And I don't know. We all just want to peek behind the curtain at a PGA Tour event. And Ben Griffin has given it to us. I think he's got like over 100,000 followers. Here's a question. At what point are you a content creator or a pro golfer? Like, is he a content creator gone pro golfer? Or just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you are one?
I think it's the money. Of whatever you're making more of, that's what you are.
Ooh, you know what? I actually really like that delineation, if you will.
Like DeChambeau's still a golfer.
DeChambeau's still a golfer. I mean, he's clearly.
There's no chance he will ever make more money than he did from golf, which is live and stuff.
Yeah. Wesley Bryant, YouTuber.
Ooh, wow. That's a hot take.
Yeah.
That is a hot take. Well, especially now because he got kicked off the PGA Tour. I guess that's a simple one.
I still can't believe he got kicked off the tour. That was like, how do you in the same week kick him off the tour and then have Grant come on and do another thing? Like,
right. And the thing he was kicked off for aired on Grant's channel.
Yes.
Like, that's insane. I don't know. That's a
little
wound
side clip for
that's
people
take
who
a
haven't
while.
seen what happened. Really short and quick.
Well, Live Golf hosted sort of their own version of the Creator Classic. They invited a bunch of YouTube content creators, paired them with a Live Golf Pro, 2-man teams, and it was an entire showdown before a Live Golf tournament. So it was just content only. There was no, it wasn't part of like a competition event, wasn't a part of the Live Golf Tour. It was just using a course that they had set up prior to an event, all for YouTube. And apparently this crossed a major boundary for the folks over the PGA Tour. And that egregious act of making more YouTube content, which he's done for a very long time, this time got him completely kicked off the PGA Tour. But he did say in a statement, I don't know if you guys watched that, he put out like an entire video statement thing. And he said that his right as a PGA Tour member is to appeal this violation. So he's going to be going through that process. And he's not happy about it all.
I'm not a fan of him not being happy about it, but also at the same time still saying I have so much respect for the PGA Tour. Like, I'd be pissed.
Well,
I'd
he's
be like,
thinking about
screw them.
Tactically coming back because, like, is this a Sandlot Forever ban or is this like a?
He's suspended.
Oh, okay. Well, he's
not banned. He's suspended.
So then he's cool.
Well,
also, what is he gonna do? Say, I hate the PGA Tour, but hey, wait, reinstate me?
Yeah,
like, of course,
you big dummies. You got it wrong this time, you idiots.
Big stupids.
God. Well, like there was that thing at the Masters this this year where Jordan Spieth was talking about mud balls. And by him talking about mud balls, we learned that they're not supposed to talk about mud balls.
Yeah.
And he sort of like stepped out of bounds by like discussing something that's a real part of golf, but apparently like the Masters doesn't want to be known for having mud or something. I'm not sure. But it's a similar environment where people are like, my ball did strange things for unknown reasons that, are still a mystery to me because I can't use the term that explains what happened to it.
So like the Masters has like toxic, egotistical illusions of stuff you can't talk about.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
No, not at all. Absolutely.
They
No,
don't
they
at
don't
all.
at all.
It's like the mafia.
Gary.
I'm never getting
Jeez.
invited now.
Yeah, you're out. You're iced. I'll be picking you up polos for the rest of the time. It's fine.
I'll tell you something. After getting all the results from the tournament this week, taking it back and it's back on track a
Thank
little
you,
bit.
Josh.
Thank
we
you,
need to
Josh.
stay on the rails periodically.
We sucked overall as a show with our picks this week.
Do you want to take
Agreed.
us into that? I think it's
Yeah.
important that we review the quality of the picks this week.
All right. Coming in
Or
fourth
lack
place.
thereof.
Yours truly, me, with Ashke, Batia, and then Carson
you.
Young.
I love it.
And then tied in second place, we have another tie. Dan and Rich. Dan with Wyndham Clark and Taylor Moore. And Rich with Colin Morikawa and Kurt Kitayama. And then in first place, first time in a while,
Woo!
Gary with Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry. The sad thing is they only tied for 12th. So it's not like we won. So
You know what?
Josh,
Here's the
where,
thing.
where were all the teams ranked at?
all of ours.
Yeah, the ones we picked.
Mine
I'm like
was
so proud of it.
mine was cut with -7.
Did not make the cut, 7 under.
And then both you guys with the tie
Did not make the cut.
at -8. So you guys did one better than me.
And Gary, of course, clearly his team did make the cut. T12, 22 under. Absolutely dominated the choices that
22
the rest of
under.
us made. That's fantastic. That's almost what we shot this morning.
Yeah, but the problem is like we're a scramble and they're alternate shot. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So I can't see the picture very good, but is that Keegs is that Keegs right over there?
You're seeing the mustache, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing.
Right
I'm seeing
next
the
to
mustache.
Akshay over there.
That's,
Who's that
that's
next?
Carson Young.
Carson Young. There's, you know what? I love all the different like overlapping names on the tour. You got like Carson Young, Cam Young. You got Cam Smith, Cam Newton.
Or
No,
like
wrong.
the
No, there's no
Hojgaard
Cam
brothers. They have the Hojgaard brothers, and then there's a guy with the first name Hojgaard.
That's way too confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't take their weird last name and then use it as a first name.
Yeah, it's.
You know what? Suspend him. Suspend him right now. That's just too confusing for me.
You guys want to know who else missed the cut?
Yes.
Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick.
Oh, we fell in love with them.
They missed by one.
They're cool.
Full swing.
And then, yeah, the rest on the list are the two that you guys picked.
Wow.
So-
Well, Rich, so when we get into this week's picks later in the show, you and I are going to have to come up with some sort of a tiebreaker to decide who gets to make their pick before the other. That's fine.
fair.
But there was
Let's
almost
make sure the host of the show's not cheating.
You know what?
And when you win, you lose.
I try to keep the utmost level of integrity and try not to let anybody know when I'm cheating.
Exactly.
Josh,
You're not
you threw
cheating,
your
you're not
pick
trying.
perfect this time.
I did not even throw a pick. I lost by 1 in fourth place.
I knew
It's
it.
not a
You riled
throw.
up. I knew it.
No, Josh wanted a top pick for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson this week.
That's right. All the big names that are in that tournament.
Yeah. We know
but
your
I'm
game,
looking.
Josh.
I don't think Keegan Bradley's even playing this week.
No, he's not on the list.
He needs
Not
a
on
week
the
off. You know,
He
he's
does.
been going hard since Easter, probably. I have no idea.
I'm really debating on coming on the show, just wiping the beard and going with the Keegan stash.
Wow.
Do it.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
You know, Gary, you had it.
I could do it.
It
Right
was
this
important. It
second.
was beautiful. And you let it go. You let us down.
Ugh.
But Rich, you might be able to come and bail us out, redeem the show, bring us back into mustache territory.
Right. Maybe that'll bring him some luck.
Wait, who? Gary?
No, Keegs.
Oh, right. Keegan, of course. Thank you. All right, Josh, what else do we got from the weekend? Oh, wait, real quick. I have this note. Ben Griffin, one of the winners. Did you guys know he plays a max fly ball?
Nice.
I just heard
Wow.
about that.
Yeah, he's the only tour player who plays max fly, and he won. Does that say something about the ball, or does he have like a special one that's not on the rack over there at Dick's?
Not the arrow, it's the Indian.
Thank you.
Well, remember a little while back when who was it? Rory hit the ball and on camera on mic says, "Wow!" And that was a off the rack ball.
Oh yeah, that was at TGL.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, like this is the consumer model or something like that." I was like, "Wait
Right.
a second, roll his ball back." Kind of
So,
non-consumer models he got.
I wonder if there is a slight difference between an actual tour ball and the ones you buy at the store.
You know what's interesting? I heard somebody, Gary, were you maybe talking about it? I don't know who. Somebody was talking about on the Titleist Pro V1s that you're supposed to put the logo in a certain direction and all this and that. When Bryson does this salty ball floating test, it doesn't always come back to like a logo position.
Correct.
What's he playing?
He's Pro V1 left dash.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I heard somebody say, because I heard that this week as well, like you got to put the ball in a certain spot. I'm like, nope, that's definitely not true because Bryson has proved that completely wrong.
But Bryson's going for center of gravity of the ball rather than like the ability to hit it longer by placing the Pro V symbol towards the target versus the Titleist vertical logo of getting a softer feel for par threes in my head.
You know what though? Golf is in all of our heads. So if
And
that's
souls.
where it lives in your head and in your soul, then it's true.
Facts.
It's facts.
Without a doubt.
Thank you.
Moving on.
There were weather disruptions and broadcast disruptions this week. We almost had a Monday finish.
I saw like a news headline come to my phone when I was at the draft that said broadcast interruption. Was that due to weather? Would they have like got a little rain on some of their wires or what?
So this is the timeline. There was a power outage at TPC, Louisiana.
Okay.
Began Sunday at around 2:30 p.m.
Okay. There's some backup generators or anything like that.
And then play was suspended.
Guys are running around with those like red gas cans, like panicking.
Play was suspended due to bad weather at 3:40 p.m.
Okay.
Power was restored shortly after 4:30 p.m.
So the weather caused power outages, but at 2:30, but not so much so to stop golf till 3:40.
Yeah. It's weird. Let me keep going with it.
Okay, thank you. Let's keep the timeline together here.
Play resumed at 5:15 p.m.
That's late.
Yeah. And then viewers missed live coverage during the critical phase of the tournament, including the decisive moments leading to Novak and Griffin's victory.
Dude, how annoyed would you be?
Yeah.
First PGA Tour victory and the broadcast goes out. It like cuts to you guys like hugging and cheering on the green. And everybody's like, wait, what happened? Like, no, nobody knows. We'll just believe
Could you
you.
imagine if that would have happened during the Masters?
Oh, God.
Impossible.
It wouldn't have.
Never, ever.
Rich, that would never happen during the Masters.
That's correct.
Well, what was it? They wouldn't film the first half back in the day for the Masters. Like you didn't get to see holes 1 through 6. So they always would start like on the 7th hole or something.
Yeah, like it was like a partial broadcast back in the day.
Yeah.
And now
It's
we
like-
get ball flight trackers from the range.
And how
like
many
you want to talk
balls
about a
they've
difference.
That's like that.
No,
with
but
bunch of
it's
sports.
still somewhat partial because like they don't show the morning hole 1, who's ever playing hole 1, they don't show that. You're like searching the app, you're searching everywhere, and you can find it like the featured group or something like that, but you can't see everybody.
Right. The whatever it is, like the 7:40 AM tee time is not on CBS.
No. And
Who
it's
was
not
it?
anywhere.
Min Woo Lee, they showed one time.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that? I think we talked about it, but somebody tallied up all of the strokes shown on TV by every player. And like for Rory, it was every single swing and putt. And then, went down from there. Down in Min Woo Lee, they just showed him hit the ball once. And an honorable mention, we're going to broadcast him swinging the club one time.
And
Weren't
he
they
had just won like 2 weeks before that.
He's worth following. I mean, he's
Same with Bryson.
He's a content creator. Have you seen how many followers he has?
Yeah. Bryson's the same way though. Everyone was complaining that they weren't showing him.
I definitely think that there was less video of non PGA players.
Yeah, there's some
than
politics
regular PGA
there.
players. Yes, for sure.
Well, and obviously the Masters is not a PGA Tour owned event. It is a completely separate, entity altogether. But it sounds like they might be
separate by
siding.
not being separate though.
You know?
like it's. I mean,
I don't think like the representatives from the PIF or, sitting down discussing rules changes for the following year.
Right.
That's too bad. Yeah, I don't know.
But
All right.
I do think it's funny that when Bryson started going on day 3, it's like, well, now they got to show all of Bryson now.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, well, we don't want to. They're like, dude, he's in the final group.
right.
Like, well, cut to Rory.
But
Just
no
show
matter
Rory
what,
walking.
he could have been dead
Cut
last.
to,
but
cut
they're
to
still
Rory
showing
watching Bryson hit his ball.
Yeah.
all of Tiger shots.
Did you see the record broke this past weekend?
Record for what?
The lowest round?
What, there was like a course record at the Zurich, or what do you mean?
Yeah, at
here?
the Zurich. Remember when before you left, you were in here. I was doing, production stuff.
Naturally.
And I'm like, dude, look at this. These guys were like 14 under after 12 or something like
So
that.
lowest for the Zurich only.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Rookies, and they were rookies too. Rookies Isaiah Zalinda and Kevin Velo set a new Zurich Classic record with a 14 under 58 in the 4-ball format.
I'm curious, whenever somebody sets a course record or ties a course record, usually like it goes up in the clubhouse, it's like on a plaque and like they're, memorialized there for, however long they hold the record. But in this format, like they broke the record for the Zurich tournament, but does like the clubhouse recognize that ongoing? It's like, well, I mean, you didn't like break the course record. You guys together played like a team event and did really well. Like,
There's probably a separate plaque.
it's like its own side plaque.
Yeah.
Kind of like those guys who shoot 48 in those scrambles. You know what I mean?
just
Like,
saw one recently.
dude, that's so out of control.
The
like
guy with the
how?
big red shirt
No, was that the old one? There
Yeah,
was a
he's-
new one.
grabs the money like
Oh,
this.
no, this was a newer one, man.
Okay.
And this was bad.
The best though. Go ahead.
They called them out. Like, usually those people get out and leave before they can announce, like, who won. These people were still in the group of, like, the whole tournament, and they're like, boo.
Do you guys ever notice those guys are always heading back to a minivan?
Yep.
Like whenever they catch up with them in the parking lot, it's always like an old like Chrysler Town and Country or something like that.
You've seen the one where they have a playoff
No.
and then they like play these dudes and everybody's watching and they're shank top. And they're like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
17 under, huh? Okay.
You got 6 eagles and 4 hole-in-ones, but now you can't put a single hole together.
That's how you stop
Single
these
shot.
guys. That's how you stop them. You have the final.
How you stop them is you have either 2-man tournaments and it's 2v2 on the holes, or you do 8
4v4. Yeah. I mean,
4v4, because you got it. And if you're just running 4 by yourself, yeah, they're shaving points all the time. But if you got the 8v8 or 4v4, 8 per hole, that's the only way to get it.
well, and Gary and I, we played in some of those where it's 2 4-man teams on a hole. It makes for a long day, but it also makes for an honest day.
Sure.
That's fun.
It's like in the group you're with is random. So it's not like you're all in cahoots here. You know what I mean? So that's all kind of spread out throughout the entire golf course. It does make for a long day though, because, we all have to hit 8 tee shots and then we all have to go hit 8 second shots from maybe the fairway, hopefully. And so on and so on. It's a project, but I do believe it is probably the most honest way to monitor a scramble style event.
2 things.
Well, Dan,
though.
remember the last round that we played last year? So we ended up losing by 1 stroke with our group. It was oh, Gary, you were on the team too. Yeah. It was
You
and
were
our
my
brother Joe.
passenger
And we ended up
princess.
losing by 1 stroke.
Yeah. And we kind of sit around and wonder, we're like, did we lose by 1 stroke because we wrote ours down first?
Yes, they came in after us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like I was at a scramble and my boss at one of the fitness clubs I worked at had his own scorecard and I had mine. And he goes, here, turn this in. I looked at it, 8 shots better than what
Oh my God.
I had written.
That's egregious.
So time comes, they announce it. He goes like this when they're announcing, and they go, another name. He goes, what? I go, I turn in the right score, bro. I go, here's yours. I go, we won't play again together.
And that was
That's
your
honest,
boss?
Gary. That's
Way to go,
honest.
Gary. Good job.
Secondly,
Round of applause.
usually with those 2 4-man groups though, usually it's like a high purse, I feel. So like every player's pretty good. So like, yeah, it is a long process, but like they're
It's
pretty
not
good golfers.
like
though.
an insane, like some of these like charity scrambles where
Oh,
just
yeah.
like you'll see like they're all hitting out of the woods because that was the best shot. Like, you're like, oh my God.
I
like,
love it, dude.
how are you in a scramble and you guys are playing the ball from the woods? Like,
And from the other fairway, we're like, is
Yeah.
that their third shot?
it's like, Jesus Christ.
They're not on the green as a par 4.
All right.
Well, and it was funny because like I hadn't played much golf with Gary, so when we were playing the group that we had, it was a charity event, But I asked Dan, so I'm like, so is Gary gonna want to like? Does he want to play serious, or are we just drinking all day? You're
like, or does Gary want to win? And I was like,
or does Gary want to win? Yeah,
Gary always wants to win.
Yeah, but he's still drinking.
Oh, yeah.
It has nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
Nothing to do with it. Gary always wants to win.
We're going to get off the rails.
We always are. No, I want
That was
to
a
talk
fun
about
day, though,
this. It was a great time, but I want to talk about this. The LPGA had a major this last weekend. And Josh, what is this story that we discovered that the winner can't swim?
So
Was there like a dunk tank? Like what do we have going on
no,
here?
so
Because I clearly didn't tune into this one either.
Mao Seigo, I think that's how
I'm
you say
positive that's how you say it.
of Japan, won her first major. So this is her first LPGA major.
Okay, right off the bat, the hoops on that trophy are too big.
Yeah.
You don't need handles that big. I don't know what we're doing here. I can't get
earrings.
I didn't know the LPGA had majors.
They have 5.
Okay.
There's a U.S. Women's Open coming up, and I'm going to be covering it.
That's sick.
I'll be there. It'll be my first time. I'm excited. It'll be a
So
good time.
the tradition of this tournament, right, the Chevron, is when you win, you jump into Poppie's pond.
Naturally.
Nelly Corda did it last year when she won. But the twist is she admitted she can't swim. So
Beforehand or like when she was, like calling for a lifeguard?
I don't know if it was beforehand. It might have been beforehand. I think that's why there's 2 people jumping with her.
A lot of hand holding there for
Yeah.
safety.
Tiger Sunday Red.
Do you think it's like a pond that's like 31 feet deep with catfish at the bottom, or do you think you just stand?
Ooh.
Well, here's the thing. They
I'm not
obviously
gonna
don't
lie.
have
In that
rocks
picture,
in it.
sorry, Gary.
No, no.
I thought in that picture when I looked at that, I'm like, are they just standing and like she's drowning and like holding her hand?
Like, no, you just stand. All you do is just stand. You
You
can
can see the look of like,
swim.
on her.
just sheer
Hey,
panic.
People who don't know how to swim, that's a fear, man.
That's a big thing, dude.
Like I know people who like are really good swimmers that like big open water. Like of course that's not big open water, but
No.
like that scares the crap out of people.
It's just weird to me to think you can't like swim. Like, I mean, all you have to do, like even like just floating on your back, like you don't even have to swim. You just like take a deep breath and like lay out wide and you go to the
Well,
top.
that like panic attack thing hits and just your mind doesn't allow your body.
Well, did she
I
have
know what you're
that?
talking about. Like there's a phobia of open water and like deep water. Yeah. But
I mean, I can swim. I'm a good swimmer. But
You're a great
like,
swimmer, Rich.
there's a couple of times where like we've been swimming out in the ocean and stuff like that, and like have goggles on, and then I look down and it's like it like takes your breath away when you can't see the bottom.
Oh my
Or
God.
it's way down there.
even if you're like a great swimmer and you jump into like a Hawaii ocean from the beach, you got to look because there's like some serious rocks.
What is more terrifying? Like swimming in very deep water when you look down, just the bottom is impossibly far away, or being in super murky water where you just can't see anything. You
Murky,
don't know.
100% murky.
Murky.
Forget murky.
I don't know. Wait, what am I? Is it murky like I'm in a pond, not in Florida where there's not gators?
No.
if I'm
Like
just
you're
in
like
in
Illinois?
general.
iffy things in there.
Rich, that's a really good point.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's like
here's
if
the
I'm
thing.
here in Illinois and I'm swinging in a murky pond or something, like I don't care, like whatever.
There might be like a painter's turtle that'll swim by or something like
I
that.
don't. There's bull
Like-
sharks in Illinois.
What?
At Mississippi. Yeah.
So the bull sharks, this is gonna be. I'll make it quick.
Thank
Bull
you.
sharks came from the Mississippi River. They're saltwater creatures, they're sharks, but they were able
Naturally.
to swim up
And
in
evolve.
that Mississippi River, and now they're kind of scattered throughout the country, like in rivers and ponds and lakes and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So and they
Well,
like
that's
murky
terrifying.
water. They like murky water,
Yeah, they can hide more so they could bite you right in the foot.
and that's the most deadliest shark.
The bull shark?
Yes.
Jeez.
Most aggressive.
Yeah.
And will eat like anything, like a tiger shark.
Gary, you're like the bull shark of this show.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
goes everywhere.
And I'm the clownfish.
I thought the tiger shark was more aggressive than the bull shark.
They're
Mm-mm.
both kind of aggressive.
It goes. The top 3 are bull shark, great white, tiger.
and fastest is Mako.
Wow. Hey, thanks for joining us for Shark Facts.
Shark Week.
There's like
It's not even
400
Shark
different like shark species. But like in Michigan, though, when you swim, like New Buffalo, like you could be like 20, 30 feet and see the bottom, but it's perfectly clean sand. And like you might see a fish once in a while, but I don't care if I'm in Lake Michigan or not. If I see like this giant thing swim by me, I'm going to be like, oh no.
Yeah.
So the winner of the LPGA major this past week took home a grand prize of $1.2 million. Yeah.
That's not a lot at all.
I mean, it's kind of a lot for something nobody saw.
Oh my.
No, I'm not saying nobody. I'm just saying like not like I don't know anybody. I'm not, like
Nelly Corda was playing.
Nelly Carter's cool.
Oh,
Charlie Hall was playing.
What day did you tune in,
Nimwood-
Josh?
I tuned in yesterday.
Never.
Oh yeah, you caught the Monday round.
Yeah,
Nice.
I caught the Monday recap.
Nice. Well, good for them.
So Dan, you mentioned earlier about the one guy who does the breakdown for the PGA money and stuff like that. Like you said, their expenses are a lot higher, but why are PGA expenses so much higher than Korn Ferry?
I think because they operate on a higher budget because they're on a tour that pays more. I mean, there's stories of guys like on Korn Ferry tour, like literally like traveling in U-Hauls and sleeping in the back. I mean, like straight up, like just roughing it, grinding it, like finding like home openers and like people who like welcome aspiring tour players into their home to sleep on a couch. Like it's literally like being in like a punk rock band, except for like less nose piercings or something. I'm not quite sure.
That'd be sick to have like a Winnebago and just travel by yourself and golf and like,
And like not even be on the tour, just just out there doing it,
Just
having a great
losing
time,
money.
just camping.
That's
Absolutely.
what that one guy did that did the most rounds of golf in the year.
Oh yeah,
The guy you
Patrick
interviewed. Yeah.
Koning. Koning.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a rough life for some of those guys though. What I also find interesting too, like when Ben Griffin goes through like the breakdown of the expenses for the week, he'll be like, "Oh, and then $25 for my locker fee." I'm like, really? Like, the PGA Tour or whoever takes over this entire compound, the grounds, like they talk about the food they're serving for these guys, like, and like there's some places where there's like sushi stations and like they're making like Wagyu beef stuff like that. They're like, hey, but I don't know, like, are you going to do cash or check for your $25 locker fee? Like, you guys can't throw that in?
Could I sell you?
Why can't they do something like take it out of my winnings? If I don't win anything, I'll give you $20 or give you the money.
That's insane though. Come on. Like
take
there's
it
an
out of their
entry
winnings.
fee,
Like-
a locker fee.
Well, I think it's ridiculous that there's a locker fee. If you're if you're a professional athlete, Korn Ferry Tour is still professional.
well, Korn Ferry, whatever. But
Well, it's-
PGA, whatever.
If you're in the minor leagues of baseball, you're still a professional ball player. So
Unless you have too many followers on Instagram.
yeah, then you're an influencer. But,
Thank you.
It's
Like
ridiculous.
the Savannah Bananas.
Oh yeah, that's
But like if you're playing professional baseball down in Puerto Rico or something like that, you're getting paid, so that's professional. But they're still driving themselves all across the island and everything like that. They'll be 2-3 hours away, no team bus or anything. You just got to drive and get yourself there and back.
two super connective points. One was this guy did the breakdown, like the one dude, and he's like, I spent 24 and I lost 23,000. No. I spent, so he lost 1,000 for that year playing these tournaments and traveling. And the second thing was when they didn't have jets, dude, like Jack Nicholson said that like he would travel with his family in the car to these places and like he had a baby and they didn't have throwaway diapers. So there was a cloth diaper that they'd have to like keep in the car and wash later.
Oh,
Like how brutal is that one?
oh.
You don't see Tiger doing
we almost
that.
had to do that during COVID.
What part?
You were
Have
wearing
diapers in your
cloth
car?
diapers?
No, just like cloth for toilet paper.
Oh. Like, and you share it?
No, you wouldn't share it, but like you'd go.
Hey, where's the
wash
poop
it.
cloth? I gotta go.
Oh man,
Jesus, Josh. Joaquin Niemann, huh?
Dude, love it, dude.
Dude is
fine.
on an absolute tear.
Solid.
Here's the question. He's clearly dominating on live golf, but yet at the majors we see, he's not necessarily dominating. And then we also see Bryson DeChambeau not necessarily dominating on the live golf tour, but then when he shows up to the majors, he's always in the mix.
He's like
Yeah.
a Brooks.
It's very interesting.
Well, he had a good week this week.
DeChambeau did?
Yeah, he took second.
Good for him. I didn't watch that either. Again, I was at the draft. I'm sorry.
He was
I'm sorry.
hitting,
And
he
then
was hitting
editing for
nudes.
hours.
Like I forget how long it was, but it was either a really long par 4 or a par 5, and he made it on the green.
Yeah, there was something like there was a 600+ yard hole that he got to the green in 2.
Yeah.
Which is insane. There was another hole where he hit a 7-iron, 740 yards for a 7-iron.
Wait,
Him getting
740 yards for
no, not
I'm
7.
sorry, 240 yards with a 7-iron. Thank you very much for catching that.
But him getting on and
Could have got sued.
600 yards is like he probably hit driver lob wedge though, which is
It's just
the impressive
banana
part.
sandwich.
Because him getting on is no big deal.
I think his longest drive of the week was like 400+ yards.
It's
Not
insane.
700. 400+ yards.
He'll get there.
He'll get there.
700.
Bryson will be the first guy to hit a 700-yard drive. You see. You watch.
What's his longest?
His longest in live golf is like, I think was this week, and it was over 400 yards.
Well, that one dude that
He's
got
not getting to 700.
No, I know.
Do you think that would ever happen?
No, they're going to roll the golf ball back
well, depending on the elevation, because that
for
one
everyone.
long drive dude
Stupid.
drove the green on a par 5 was like 541 and then putted it in. You didn't see that? The long hair guy, I think.
Oh, Berkshire?
Pretty sure.
Oh,
But yeah, he drove a par 5, but it was a huge undulation
thank you.
Undulation.
and wind.
Wow.
Plus, he cranks it.
Must be nice to be the
putt was more
world's
impressive, though.
longest ball hitter.
Yeah.
Kind of works out. What is Joaquin up to in winnings this year? Do we have any kind of account here?
Yeah.
3 of the 6 events on the Live Golf Tour so far this season, he's won half.
Nice.
Dude has taken just half of the tournaments down as a solo winner. Do we know how much earnings? Is it like $4 million an event or something like that?
Oh, I have no clue.
Which is insane.
That's the one thing I did not look up.
Which, like, because you got your, like, buy-in money, whatever.
Yeah, you're like your automatic guarantee.
So, like, how are you not playing great? Because, like, you're already, like, a multi-millionaire.
Like, because you're just having so much fun.
Yeah.
You're just like, I got paid so hard already, and now I just get to go out and swing free because who cares?
Yeah, I know, that's nuts. And also, Fireballers have done the same thing. They didn't win this past tournament, but they have 3 wins under the 6 tournaments this year, too, for the team.
With Sergio's insane outfit at the Masters.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dude, I
looked
didn't
like
see it. Do we got a clip or no? Or,
What?
like, of his outfit?
Sergio's outfit at the Masters. He looked like ketchup and mustard.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and then
Like that.
hold your phone up for everyone to see. You
Got
can,
it.
do the
Yeah,
screen thing.
I didn't think we were going to talk about that, so I didn't put it up.
You didn't
So
know I was going to randomly
DeChambeau-
bring that up, Josh?
I can't read your mind.
So
Thank
DeChambeau,
God.
like we said, 412 this weekend, right, in Mexico. His longest is 480 yards that he did in a long drive competition.
All right, so the 412 longest sort of tour drive, and
Yep.
then 480 is his longest long drive competition drive.
Yep.
That's insane.
Oh, speaking of long drive, I have something real quick.
All right.
You know how we did the Ken Griffey Jr. video last week?
Yes.
Long drive is the home run derby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What does that have to do with counting par 3s?
I'm just saying, he said par 3 course is like home run derby. No, it's not. It's like, in my eyes, I think it's...
But that analogy, he was saying, do my home runs count in a home run derby? You're saying, do par 3s count in a world long drive competition?
No. I'm saying the counteraction between par 3 courses and regular courses for the hole-in-ones, and how he says home run derby is like a par 3 course because you're just trying to hit that home run, but it doesn't make sense. You're just trying to hit the ball really far. Isn't
The
that
home
more
run
long
derby
drive?
is more related to a long drive competition.
Yeah.
As far as like you're just trying to hit the ball long every single time in a home run derby.
So
That's all you're doing. And sometimes in a long drive competition, you don't always hit it long because sometimes you hit it bad. So it's the same thing. I like that, Josh. I'm 100% on board with you on that.
So
Thank you.
We're using that analogy in terms of your longest drive record. You would have your longest drive record on tour, and then
Yes.
your longest drive record
I agree
in
with that
long drive
completely.
competitions.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
agree. But you know what? To go to the par 3 hole in one thing, This morning, today, Gary and I were playing some golf, and we were kind of hopping around. We were just kind of looking for open spots. It was early. We just kind of wanted to play quick, and they let us do that over there. As long as, course is moderately empty. And there was a few times we would just kind of hop over and around like a random par 3 and somewhere. And there was a particular shot that I hit. Okay, it was kind of going towards the pin. Wasn't by any means a chance to go in, but I had this thought. I'm like, well, then would this hole in one count? Like if I just randomly pull up to a par 3 and, we're just out playing like random holes, Gary played 36 holes. I played, probably 24 holes today. If I am hopping around playing hopscotch on a golf course and then I get a hole in one on one of these hopscotch holes,
Totally counts.
still
I think it
counts?
does.
Without a doubt.
I think it
Dan,
counts no matter what.
Are you
wherever
happy
hit a
when
hole
you
in one.
when you hit that hole in one? Would you be ecstatic and extremely happy?
Oh, you found the ketchup and mustard outfit?
I had to restart my phone.
He looks like a NASCAR driver.
He kind of does. Rich, I'm sorry, your question.
If today, when you popped over the random hole 3, whatever, you hit that hole in one, would you be ecstatic and extremely happy?
Of course.
I totally
Okay,
would
then who
be,
cares? That's all that matters.
But I would also have this question this counts, right?
Never.
Like do we get to log this? Do I get to say this is now my second hole in one, no caveat. I don't have to be like, oh, it was an indoor hole in one. It was a par 3 hole in one. It was a day of hopscotch golf hole in one. Or does it just get to be logged as a proper hole in one that goes into my historical record?
Was your double bogey a double bogey?
Wait, what?
When you're jumping around and you make a double bogey, is it a double bogey?
Well, I mean, I'm not submitting the scorecard, so yeah, the double bogey exists. It's not affecting my handicap though.
He got a natural eagle too today because we're playing a scramble. He bombs this one 330. We had a pitching wedge in 125 into the number 3 blue course, par 5. He hits to 8 feet, little right to left. I was like, nice. I didn't do anything.
Drained it.
Except enjoyed it.
I like that little noise you made in the microphone. Oh.
Gary, I like when you
Talk
post game commentate some of my periodic super random good holes.
Absolutely. Plus, he chipped in from 45 yards and got a natural birdie on a par 3
I did, didn't I?
with his new Cobra tailor-made wedge.
Not tailor-made,
I know,
Cobra.
custom fit.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you mean tailored
Tailor-made
to
to you.
me?
Yeah, I
I
didn't
got it.
mean
Okay. Yeah.
He tried to add some. in
Yeah.
there.
We don't.
That I had made for me at the Masters.
Facts on fact. 3 of them.
What a
That's
great
awesome.
time. Have we figured out how much Joaquin Niemann made? We're not looking. It's fine. We'll move on. You know what? To be honest,
Didn't know it
A
was
lot.
question.
It's not
If
going
he's
to
won
make you
3
watch
times,
anymore.
he minimum has 4, 8, 12 million.
But do
Just
they
from
get
that.
extra money on live for winning?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
a normal
yeah.
tournament.
massive purses. Their random whatever tournament has bigger purses than any single event on the PGA Tour.
Facts.
And they got the big bag to go play.
Oh yeah. They got paid to go shopping, if you know what I mean.
Usually what the winner wins is half the whole purse on the PGA Tour.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good living over there, if you know what I mean. All right, Josh, you were digging into this a little bit. I'm kind of leaning on you for some of this news this week. 'Cause like I said, I was a little out of
Yeah,
pocket.
you were
This
MIA.
I was up in Green Bay. I was having cheese curds. You know what I mean? I was having a great time.
Can we talk about
12,600,000.
a little bit?
We'll get there.
All right.
I'm sort of pre-teasing it over and over. Yeah, builds excitement.
Everybody
Coming
hear
up
that?
just after this. So Josh, what's going on here in the DP World Tour
All
with
right.
Marco Penge?
Yeah. So the Marco Penge was suspended from the DP World Tour 3 months ago. In December, I think we talked about it a little bit. I think it was on our final show of the year. We talked about stories of the worst stories that happened throughout the year, and this was one of them.
I completely don't remember that.
He got suspended for gambling on golf,
Nice.
but he was gambling on events that he was not a part of.
Why can't you do that?
I know. You said the same
Rich,
thing.
will you explain to me why you can't do that? Because I feel like these are the types of things you know. Well, because I had that thought about why can't you bet on your own baseball team and stuff like that, and you had good reasons why you
the
can't.
Pete
That
Rose.
you really can't do.
I understand not being able to bet on your own game, your own thing, especially if you're a coach, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I don't understand why. I mean, other than the fact of how do we know you weren't betting on your game? You were just betting on other games, so it just eliminates that gray area and that's it.
The most outrageous explanation would be that whoever you're betting for, like the other guy, you have a buddy there that's somehow affecting it.
Like
as he plays with other players.
He's like, I swear I'll play super good.
Like that's like saying
no.
Dan's
He's like,
buddy with Bryson DeChambeau, and so he gets a bet on him and get him to throw the game or do better.
100%.
I don't know. You know what they need to do? They need to come up with like an API that connects your DraftKings account to like your PGA Tour registration account, and you'll just be grayed out. Like, oh, I can't bet on that event because I'm playing in it. It's all set up. It already knows. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
Looks like a Tommy Fleetwood brother, sort of.
He doesn't look. His eyes are like piercing.
It's crazy.
You guys really sucked on those picks. I will admit, Rich was on a hot streak.
He was.
But this week, the show took an overall L. I even had Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin winning this weekend.
Thank you.
I saw it from a mile away. You
How?
buffoons costed the starving artist over there. He put all his money on Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry. Don't get me wrong. I think it's hilarious. Welcome to the club, you broke, bitch.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, no.
I lost all my money that I've saved up from selling my art at the hallowed grounds of Augusta National. I thought it was a foreshore lock, as the kids say. Sorry, I'm new to this sports betting thing. I just thought that would be an easy way to make money without having to ask Dan. Even though I think he would give me whatever I wanted.
True.
Speaking of that, Dan, can you help me out? I love living here. I just need a few things.
Oh, God.
We can talk about it off camera, but will you help me out? Also, Gizmo, can you stop calling me the B word? It's hurting my feelings.
What? Clarence is sensitive?
Got some sense.
He's an artist,
He's
bro.
an artist.
What do you think he needs?
What
do you think are his
clue.
demands?
I don't know.
But I will say, Clarence, just when it comes to gambling, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, but just tell me, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Like you can follow people's stock trades. Like, can we just follow your bets and
100%.
mirror them automatically?
I mean, as far as the show goes, I'm crushing everybody here.
Oh, it's complete and utter domination.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Two first-time winners.
It's actually pretty unfair. So the dude he's kicked out for gambling on a tournament he's not even playing in.
Cheers to Rich.
Comes back and straight up wins his first tournament back from his suspension. You know what? I want to see the Bryan Bros come back from their suspension and just full blown win.
I'm sorry.
Never
He's
mind,
not winning the tournament.
That's not
right
Tommy
after that.
Fleetwood's brother. He won.
No. That is kind of like a nice stick it to the man scenario though.
Yeah.
100%.
Just come back and win. I'll show you. Hopefully he bet on himself. You know what I mean? That'd be great. He's like, yeah, well, guess how much I really won.
I will say, I think in golf, you should be able to bet on yourself to win.
No.
Why
Why?
not?
Yeah, exactly. Makes no sense.
Well, I mean, I think showing up is betting on yourself to win. Why not, kind of juice the pot a little bit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
right,
I
know.
mean, I don't think you should be able to bet that you're gonna I'm gonna
Miss
come in
the cut.
second, because then you can throw it and lose strokes and stuff like that. But you should be able to bet that you're gonna win.
I bet for the Masters that Angel Cabrera would make the cut. Now, I lost money on that bet. Now, if there was a way to bet that I am not going to make the cut, and then I'm going to put a ton of money on that, and then I'm going to go out there and just absolutely shit the bed, then, okay, I could see that there's an issue here. But straight up betting on yourself to win, what could you do? You're like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I wear my lucky socks today, and that's going to really throw the match in my favor. What could you do? How could you influence that other than just playing the best you can like they always do already? I don't know.
Do you feel like that would impact your game?
By betting on myself? I don't think it would impact my game. I think it would impact my financial outcome if I win.
Well, no matter what, they're going to play for money. So, there's that light at the end of the tunnel. But if, say, you're not playing for any money and all of a sudden you place money on yourself to win, I'm instantly 10 shots better. It's just this click where I'm like, oh, there's something to strive for.
Do you have that extra gear when something's on the line?
Without a doubt. Like for 4 years when I was younger, I wouldn't play golf unless it was for at least $50.
Really?
I'm like, I'm not putting all this effort in. I didn't love golf like I did that back then. I'm like, I'm not gonna put all this effort in for nothing.
Use all these awesome shots.
He
and
was
just
that.
waste
He
them.
was that guy who didn't really like the sport, but just liked winning money.
Well, no,
from
I
it.
loved it, but it was just like this transition period where I'm like, dude, I want to win.
You just always wanted to win. You had that
It
tiger
was like
in you.
21 to 20, whatever, 4.
The tiger blood, like
That was-
Charlie Sheen.
That was younger than me.
What?
He was
Oh,
younger
like
than
you
me when
right
we
now?
were
Resident
together.
19-year-old.
I'm not 19. 26.
Josh, when's your birthday?
September 9th.
Perfect.
He doesn't say the year though.
98.
Yeah.
98? I
Right.
remember 98.
Oh wait.
Hey, I was alive for Woodstock 99,
That was
baby.
5th grade.
Yeah, but you missed the Atlanta Olympics. So
I was like,
that
chubby
was a
little
good time.
5-foot guy.
Dude, I was I missed
The Atlanta Olympics.
So
the final championship for the repeat the three-peat for the Bulls. I missed Mark McGuire's his home run derby or home run
72.
record. Yeah. My mom was in the hospital. She had me the day after. I missed so many cool things just within that year
but-
in 98.
I still
But
remember.
you were alive for Katy Perry becoming an astronaut.
Nice.
that is
Yes.
so true. You know
Yes.
what?
And Pokemon.
No, I was not alive when Pokemon started.
Oh.
Started in 93.
I remember when Sammy Sosa hit his whatever home run. Me and my dad smoked a cigar together. I was in 6th grade.
And then he
Wait,
lost
you were
it the
smoking
next day.
6th grade cigars?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I was
That's-
such a badass.
Was it like a big dog?
It was a big dog.
Or was it like a little Swisher Sweet?
Nah, it was a
And
good
did
one.
they have
Speedway?
Swisher Sweets back then?
Yeah, they
You
started
don't
in
inhale,
1991.
You know, you just look cool as you think.
Yeah, of course they did.
Started in 91.
All right, Rich, you've been hanging on pins and needles here for me to talk about this NFL draft this last weekend.
Yes.
I feel like we got to jump into it. Rich, you were actually watching it though, right? You were like tuned in. Is that true?
As much as I could. I had a crazy busy weekend as well. But when you sent that video of like when it was getting ready to start and you like sent the video of where you're at, I'm just like, oh my God. Well, because I was supposed to go with you, but I couldn't because the stuff came up and I wasn't able to go. So I was so jealous of how close you were.
All right, so I'll set the stage here, if you will. Obviously, you know, I've been doing story contribution for Sports Illustrated SI Golf for quite some time. But I had a little bit of a special request kind of come along my desk, if you will. And it was from the NFL football side over at SI. And they're like, Dan, we know you're not terribly far from Green Bay. What do you think? You go, head up to the draft, you cover it, and kind of do your storytelling thing from there. Instantly, I panicked because I don't watch any football at all. You know, I don't know. Just I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to watch. I don't have time. So I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't even know any of these people. I kind of actually don't even know how this thing works. I didn't even know the draft was like a gigantic thing. Turns out it is. It's a gigantic thing. They're like, no. What we'd like you to do is just kind of tell like what it's like to go, like the experience and what it's like to be there. And I'm like,
Which was
oh,
perfect for you.
well, yeah. I'm like, I can do that. I can talk about going places and doing stuff. Easy.
Apparently, it's a really big thing.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've been like
huge.
at my buddy's house
Huge.
where all of a sudden everybody has a laptop. They're sitting around the table. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, we got the draft. I'm like, all right, call me when this is
That's
over.
different. That's their fantasy football
Oh, okay.
draft.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
either.
forget that one.
But
too.
did you, speaking of the
Rich
draft
is
and
like,
stuff like
dude.
that, did you guys see the prank call that happened?
Yeah, hold on. We'll get there. So part of me attending this and having Sports Illustrated credentials, and one of the things that was added to my credential was a photo pit pass. Okay, I don't know what that is either. I'm like, they're like, you know, there was like details coming into my email, like about the photo pit and how it all works. I didn't even know where it was. So like, I have this like credential to go to a photo pit. I don't know where it's at. And, you know, they're like, I think everybody else there like knows how this thing works because like they all like went to the said photo pit, and there was like, you had to wear like one of those like armbands that like said like photo pit pass, like to show that you're credentialed to be in there. And they all go tearing off out of the media center. And I'm like going, I'm like trying to find my batteries. I'm like lost and confused. And I go heading out. They're all gone, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. And like I go up to like this first gate, and like you have the badge and you scan it. Everyone's like, you can't come through this gate. I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. And I asked like a security guy, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get to the photo pit. He was like, what's that? I'm like, that's the same thing I want to know. Trying to figure that out. And so I just kept going to like different entrances until my badge worked. And that took me to like backstage. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I'm supposed to be here apparently. And then backstage kind of led you like, and the way it was, there's the big draft theater. And there's sort of like a divider. There's the massive sea of people. And then sort of like, an open area for like people to walk through and, you know, emergency people and cameras and everybody to get through. And then there's inside the draft theater where there's actual seats and the lights and you're like kind of like in the thing. So here I am in this sort of like bridge way between massive crowd and up close crowd. And still I'm like, I don't know where the photo pit is. And one of the things in the rules, it said that the media members and photo pit access people, you can't just wander around. They're like, we want you in your designated spot. There's no wandering within the draft theater. Well, how do I find where the thing is without wandering around? And nobody knows where it is. I don't know where it is. So like, I was trying to always walk like I knew what I was doing, but then I would just get to the other side. And now I'm over here and not knowing what I'm doing still either. And
imagine you like sprint walking with aggression,
power walking, got like my camera with the,
so you have the thing on your arm, right?
Yeah.
And like you just see one person with that?
Nope.
That's crazy.
None of them.
None of them.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I'll like start going up different aisles with like authority, like walking sternly. And I finally got to a spot and I'm like standing off to the side. I'm like, I'm not in the right spot, but I feel like I'm out of the way enough where at least maybe I won't get in trouble for like a minute while I'm like scanning around. And I look up like at the stage because there's a bunch of stuff happening and some announcers coming on. And as I look at the stage, I see the armband people like pressed up against the stage. Like they are like literally like touching the stage, standing at floor level. I'm like, oh, well, apparently that's the photo pit. And that's what the photo pit is. It is this like little lane reserved for like the 4 feet between the, like just coming off the stage with like a little half wall. And so I walk up there with authority, head right on up. And I go in and I'm like, the stage is like almost eye level. And I'm like, I'm here. I've never been to a draft. I didn't know what the draft is. I don't know where it is. I don't know what to expect. And they said there was like an estimated 700,000 people who came out to Green Bay for this entire event over the course of the weekend. And I am pressed face first up against the stage, like Roger Goodell, as he would come down and like congratulate some of these guys, like was like bumping into my arm. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, how are you? You know, I'm supposed to be over here. You could tell by my arm cuff. It was very
I
interesting.
like that you
up
knew
close.
who Roger Goodell was, Dan.
They announced his name.
He's the dude that like announces the people. That's the next football player.
The head of the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the main dude. He's actually there in the picture. So like for the first round of the draft, he would like congratulate each person, give him a big giant hug, and then like hold up their New Jersey with them. Not New Jersey like the state, their new jersey that they'll be wearing.
Yeah.
They're New England.
Did you guys see that for each person as they came out, they had their name already on the jersey, like that they were just picked by and announced? Did you guys see any of the behind the scenes and how that all worked?
No.
Rich, you caught it?
Oh, it's so impressive. I've seen it several times. It is so impressive.
Maybe Rich should explain, are you?
So this isn't like a brand new thing. I thought I just discovered it.
Question before you answer that, because you are our football connoisseur, Rich, and you always ask me about golf stuff. Was Favre there?
No,
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but like probably not. Like
No, he didn't come over and see me. I didn't, no.
I have 2 questions.
Go on.
First one is, how long did it take for you to get comfortable? Because, this is not your jam.
I could tell you exactly.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. And Gary, you can
I will not.
let me know if this was what you thought.
Okay.
There were different areas to find comfort in, not the hotel. Thank
What's
you.
wrong with you?
Terrible
His
jokes.
hee with the Michael Jackson glove was the best. Go ahead.
Leave me alone. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Because they're not watching.
So I go in the first place I do is I have to find the media center. I don't know where that is. I don't know where to go. I'm asking questions. I'm scanning my badge. Finally, I end up in the right room. This is the biggest media center I've ever been in my life. It was like part of like an expo hall or like a convention center. Like it was like a corridor within that. It was huge, like 1,000 seats maybe. So I go in there and it said, make sure you only sit in the photo work area. Well, so now I've got rules. Like there's only like certain places I'm supposed to sit. I don't know where that was. Instantly, I'm not comfortable. But then I see a bunch of people with these armbands and kind of start putting it all together. I'm like, that's the photo work area. I grabbed a seat. I sat down. I didn't even unpack my stuff. I was just like, cool. I'm like in a place where I'm kind of supposed to be. I'm comfortable, kind of. There's media dining, eat a little bit, whatever. Now it's time to go out there.
How did the media dining relate to like other medias that you've been to? Like TGL and like, just other ones that you've been to.
All right. Well, we'll say like the peak, the pinnacle is the Masters. The food
wise?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you talking Mercedes Masters or just
No,
Masters
I'm talking about the standard media dining hall within the media arena, as they call it. That's like the pinnacle. And then I'm not going to name the names, but some of the very small market PGA Tour events, it's like boxed sandwiches like in a fridge that have been in there all day, kind of like 7-Eleven, you know what I mean? So, I would say between those two, from box sandwiches at 7-Eleven and the Masters, where you have a sit-down restaurant with a menu and servers, it would be from a 1 to a 10. This was a buffet, had some nice like roast beef on it, had like some chicken cutlets, little rice, little pasta, little salad bar. I would say it was like a 6.2 for media dining.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Not to derail more, but how come I've never heard that at the Masters you get sit down restaurant with menu and ordering?
Oh yeah.
Dude, they treat media guys like royalty.
Yeah.
You told me.
And there's several different places to consume food as Masters media, which is all complimentary for coming to support and provide media coverage of the event. There's the grab and go area, which is like a reach in cooler. And that thing has the entire menu of the Masters menu that you always see that goes around, all the sandwiches, everything. That's grab and go. Then there's like a cafe style coffee shop where you can like, can I do a latte, no foam, half calf, whatever. They're doing all that. And then there's like, soda machines and everything. That's just the quick grab and go area. But then next to that is it's only open certain hours. There's like a breakfast serving and a lunch serving. And in there, they're like, how many? I'm like, just table for one, because I'm a weirdo and I don't know anybody here. And grab a seat. They hand you a menu. A server comes over. What can I get you to drink? I mean, it's like going out to eat, like, except for there's no prices on it. It doesn't cost anything. And it's just a fantastic media dining experience.
Do you leave a tip?
So what I found out is you're not supposed to, because you're not supposed to tip on like Augusta property as non-members. It was like a whole thing. They're compensated properly. A lot of them, and what's interesting is a lot of them are like interning for the various positions. So like they might be interning for hospitality. So on their resume, I got to work at the Masters in the hospitality department. And it's a huge deal for a lot of these guys. And same thing, like grounds crew. There'll be people like who are, going to college for crewing grounds.
Agriculture.
Thank you. And same thing, they come out and it's part of their internship, whole thing. Back to the NFL draft.
Sorry.
Maybe like a 6.2 for the media dining. Solid. So me being comfortable. Eat, hang out, time to go find the photo pit. Instantly uncomfortable again. Wandering around, marching back and forth, super quick, trying to look authoritative when I'm walking. I don't know if it's working. I had game face on. Finally find my spot. I get settled in. Within like 2.5 minutes, I'm comfortable again, because I know I'm like where I'm supposed to be. Now I'm having a great time. I'm like snapping pictures and all this stuff. But I'll tell you what, the other photographers were on like a whole other level. Like I was like the new kid in class. I was like operating at like kindergarten level. So
you're like Gary at TGL.
One of the things in there, it said there's going to be hardline internet for camera crew in the photo pit. I'm like, what do you like bring your laptop or whatever? Now these guys, here's what they're doing. I'm not even kidding. They have like their camera and then they'll have like an iPhone like mounted to the side of it. And they'll have like a cable going into it. And then they'll offload the photos to the camera. And then there's like a dongle that they'll put the Ethernet cable into for the iPhone. So it gets maximum speed internet. And like when a draft pick happens, whoever it is, like is so-and-so is chose for the Green Bay Packers, they'll like snap a bunch of pictures. And as soon as the guy leaves stage, they hurry up and hook all these wires up and send it back to their news organization so they can be the first people to post a picture of whatever pick just happened or whatever moment. And like here I am over here, like with my camera, like I don't get mine off like my memory card till like midnight. You know what I mean? Like I'm like way behind. I had no idea.
New tactic for like PGA tournaments and majors, send it to Josh instantly.
That was the whole thing, though. I didn't have this whole like setup where I could be uploading 100 images that I just snapped, which could be like a gig, and they're doing it like immediately with all this high speed stuff and all these dongles, whole thing. And there's, you know what?
So your most comfort level was
you
consistently felt it.
I would say my highest comfort level was when I was not in the photo pit and I was out just sort of like roaming the greater grounds, like walking through the stadium and just like eating the food and just kind of cruising around. Like when I was far enough away from the area was with all the rules, you know, just kind of free floating.
The amount of beanbags to be played there. Oh my God.
Oh, dude, you'd be winning cheese curds for days.
Oh my God.
The food.
They call it cornhole though.
Dude, the food was a great time. Friday, sort of like the middle day, because, you know, Thursday, round one of the draft, like that is like the biggest part of the spectacle that I, you know, sort of observed. The Friday sort of was like this in-between day. It was like raining. It was cold. The players, like when they would announce them, weren't coming out on stage like the first day. And I'm like, what are you guys taking pictures of? Like, what are you guys doing? You're all in here mashed up against the stage to take a picture of a screen of the guy who's at home in his living room, like crying and, you know, like his like mom's videoing him or something like that. What are we doing pictures of? So I didn't stick around Friday. You know what I did? Gary, do you know what I did?
Hung out with the fans.
No, I didn't hang out with any fans. I went to the Vince Lombardi Steakhouse. Oh yeah, I treated myself.
I remember that was fixed. Yeah, what you were saying was not my idea of when you got comfortable.
Perfect.
Nice.
You know what? I wanted the full Green Bay experience. And it turns out Vince Lombardi's pretty popular up there. I don't think he's around anymore.
Who Vince Lombardi is?
He was one of like the first really important coaches for the Green Bay Packers. He won the first 2 Super Bowls. And they later went on to name the Super Bowl trophy after him.
All things you learned this last weekend.
I learned it while I was sitting in the restaurant.
Or reading the menu. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
That's impressive.
And there was actually a replica of the Lombardi trophy in Vince Lombardi's Steakhouse.
Not going to lie, my not knowing, I was about to be like, and they named the college trophy after him, which is the Heisman, which I'm totally wrong, foot and mouth.
Heisman was actually his uncle. So it was all in the family, you know.
Well, that's crazy.
Wasn't it Joe Heisman?
I just lost my headphones.
Gary's reaction.
Wasn't that Joe Heisman?
You're correct.
Yeah.
Uncle Joe.
So how was the food? Like, is it fantastic? It was like cheese curds on the menu, I'm assuming. Was everything just covered in cheese or?
There was a lot of cheesy items. But here's what I liked about it. It was super old school.
Nice.
Like super like dimly lit. And the thing was like a museum, like a shrine to Vince Lombardi. Like every wall, every square inch of the whole place was covered in some form of memorabilia from like the moment you walk in, like aligning the walls. And then like against the walls were like these like glass display cases with like, I don't know, like a pair of his like slippers or something from like the night he went to bed before he won something or whatever. Or there'd be like handwritten letters to his daughter because he's like, hey, he wrote, I love this one. I read it. He wrote her a letter to say that when he gets some free time, he's going to call her.
So just kind of painting the picture a little bit. When you say it's like the old school, is it like old school, super high end, dark oak, leather, mahogany, like that kind of high end?
Like,
or is it more like sportsy memorabilia, sports bar?
No, it's like
Perry's and Oak Brook.
Like if they were to try and make a like restaurant vibe that feels like the movie Casino. Nice. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Like old school, like mafia kind of movie feel, like rich leather chairs that have been in here for probably 40 plus years. You know what I mean? Like we're not updating the joint. We did it right once and we're going to leave it this way. We got the same cookware or, you know, serving dishware from the whole time.
So Chicago from the whole time.
the whole time.
In the lunchroom.
Yeah, there's
them guys.
the old Vince Lombardi's Steakhouse.
Oh, not this accent again.
You guys want to know what I ate?
Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
I was going to try not to go as extravagant as I did at the Tiger Woods restaurant. If you guys remember that, I went nuts. I just went way overboard. I was eating dessert
Which was
for
better,
lunch.
Tiger or that one?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Here's what I will say. This was definitely like a way higher end menu type restaurant. Like, I think the steaks were between like $60 and $90.
Oh.
That's not too bad.
It's actually
though.
cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, but that's not with anything. I mean, that's for the steak alone to get like an $80 steak.
Still cheaper.
Oh, you know what? I don't know what you were thinking, so I can't tell you how this should be higher or lower than what you were thinking. And in fact, nobody knows what you're thinking. Rich, do you feel like that would be a higher end restaurant for those prices?
100%.
Even
that's a
though
higher
Gary
restaurant.
didn't
I mean, that's
think that's
a
high.
more that's higher than like a Morton's and a Gibson's
I
and
thought
stuff
so.
like that. So.
Yeah. Well, and also it was connected to a Hilton hotel. So I don't know. Did we get like that little like hotel bump in prices? They're like, listen, you're here on your expense account. You know, this is coming out of your marketing budget. It's fine. All right. First thing I had, I wasn't even going to get this. I wasn't going to do appetizers. I was going to do like either a soup or a salad, steak, couple sides, get out of here, have a nice night. You know what I mean? I got a lot to do the next day. The server, she says, you got to try the Wagyu beef Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. I'm like, I am screwed. If I'm opening up with this as a solo diner, you know what I mean? We look here. This thing is surrounded. It's swimming in a sweet chili oil.
Ooh.
And then in the middle behind it is like a house-made ranch. Okay. And then we've got these egg rolls just nestled right in top, just bathing in all this juice. They were fantastic. Okay. They were absolutely fantastic. The sweet chili oil kind of working together, getting some of that creamy ranch all into this Wagyu beef.
$22.
That's a good guess. I don't remember the specific. You know,
You gave me a
individual
slight compliment,
menu.
so we'll just take it.
Okay.
Love it.
Very good, very good. Okay, but then we got into what I wanted to order first. After that, I went back to the well. I'm like, I got to try the lobster bisque. We did the lobster bisque down at Tiger Woods restaurant, but see, this kind a little different. They have in the middle of the bowl, they put like the pile of like the lobster and like some other veg, and then they come out and they pour it around it, do like the whole waterfall thing right at the table. They're dumping it right on there.
Which, I mean, that sounds fantastic, but like, okay, lobster bisque in Florida, right there on the ocean, lobster bisque in Wisconsin.
Yeah, in Northeast Wisconsin.
You got to be
Right?
careful how
Like,
you say that. I just realized, like,
What did you say?
he says veg.
Oh.
You got to.
Well, it was all under the rug till you brought it up.
I'm still missing it, but we'll move right along. And
I'll tell you after.
I'll be careful not to abbreviate vegetables anymore.
Oh man,
It's offensive.
it's not offensive. It just sounds something.
Moving on.
funny.
All right. It was good.
It was.
It was actually really good. It was a little thinner. It was a little more of like a little more brothiness to it. It wasn't, sometimes it's dense. You're kind of scooping through it like a chowder.
But you got the show.
You got the show. Well, and it's got to be able to flow. They can't be, you know what I mean? They can't be like whacking the back of the ladle to get the stuff out.
Are you spooning this thing, or you got to like dip it in chips or?
Well, here's what
bread?
I'll tell you. You can kind of see it in the top corner. I didn't even feature this in any of my photos. They came up with a bread basket
Ooh.
with this like garlic herb butter that was like savory, but like also a little sweet. Because it's fun sometimes to get like a little sweetness in your dinner roll. That was in the butter. And so you slather that up on the warm bread.
Shellacking.
And then you just dunk that right in the bisque. I am telling you, that was like a top 5 experience right there. I mean, listen, it could have been from a long day at the photo pit over there at the NFL draft.
Or finding it.
Yeah, and the chaos of finding my spot and not getting kicked out. But it was fantastic. It was just a good bisque. Overall, very good bisque. We'll keep moving. I don't want to be on this all day, guys. All right, listen. Everybody calm down.
Dan's hogging the fan, too.
Gary, I brought my own fan. You're welcome to do it. It's 82 degrees in the studio. We have way too many lights.
We're so much nicer on the pod to each other.
We really are. Isn't that crazy that this is the friendly version?
Right.
All right, let's keep moving, Josh. Come on. What are we doing?
Oh.
Here's what I went for. I went for the bone-in ribeye with a dollop of umami butter on top.
Umami.
What is that?
Umami butter.
Daddy, what does that
Umami
umami mean?
So umami is this sort of like a flavor invention. You've got like, what are they? Like sweet, salty, sour, like whatever, like all the standard flavors. They came up with a new one, a few years back. I think it was in like 98. I'm not sure.
I love it.
They came up with this new flavor called umami. And so it was like all the rage. There's like umami burgers and whatever. But it's this sort of like new flavor that hits multiple categories. It is a balance between savory and salty and sweet and all these things all at once. Soy sauce lives a little bit in the umami category.
Isn't umami like the beans that you eat? Like
That's
when you get
edamame.
That's
Close.
edamame.
And you always got to be careful which bowl you eat out of. You never want to go into the scraps. Look for the ones that still have salt on them. You know what I mean? That's a telltale sign. This was fantastic. This steak was, cut like butter. It was prime. It was prime. They were serving prime beef, but the butter on top was just an unbelievable treat. I've never had umami butter on a $65 steak. And let me tell you what, it made it taste like 70 all day.
Nice.
All day. All right. What else? I had a couple sides. I did the mushrooms and onions with it. It's a classic. I'm like, I'm in an old dark, Dungeness sort of, not Dungeness crab. Everybody calm down. You guys, I've had enough.
Isn't that a crab, though?
I love the reaction to the non-reaction.
Isn't that a crab?
That's not what I'm talking about. I was saying the place had like a dungeon vibe, like a Dungeness vibe.
Dungeons
you eat all
and
this, or
Dragons?
did you
Oh
bring
my
some
God,
back?
I want to get out of this segment. I'm so miserable right now.
Well, vamonos.
No, here was the problem. I had so many leftovers. My leftover bag wasn't like one of the little doggy bags. This was like a Great Dane bag. Like this thing was, it was like a grocery bag. It was full. We'll get there. I'll explain what happened.
That?
This was their whipped, loaded, mashed. Had to get some cheese in. This was the second occurrence of cheese. We had cheese back in the egg roll, cheese over here on the whipped, loaded mash. It was so light and fluffy, I felt like I was on a diet. Okay.
Well, and their butter, they're known for their butter too.
These guys are on the next butter level. I will tell you. Those are unbelievable. And then you start dunking the bread in there. It's out of control. I was eating alone. No one was there to judge me. Rounded the whole thing off. I wasn't going to get dessert. I walked in the place saying I'm not getting dessert. And she goes, do you want to hear about our off-menu dessert item? I'm like, well.
Off menu?
Okay, Nancy, thanks a lot. She's like,
That was her name too, wasn't it?
we have a creme brulee flight.
Probably.
I'm like, I didn't know there's flights of creme brulee. I didn't know we were flighting this thing. She goes, oh yeah, absolutely. And there is a vanilla, like what is Nutella? A hazelnut. There's a vanilla, hazelnut, an espresso, and a caramel.
Is this like a pudding?
Caramel or caramel.
Yeah, what is creme
caramel.
brulee?
It's basically like the base layer is like a custard. It's a fancy word for pudding.
No. Nice.
And then on top they put like a heavy granule sugar, like a white sugar on top. And then the brulee process is where they then take a torch and melt that sugar that you sprinkled right on top of the creme. And it
So
gets
it's hard. Like you literally
Yeah.
like tap it with your spoon.
it breaks like glass.
Interesting.
And so as you're eating like the creaminess of the bottom layers, you get like this
Custard.
crunchy bits of sugar shards that have been like sort of browned and caramelized a little bit. It's fantastic. Josh is making a face. You don't like pudding or you don't like sugar?
I just don't. I have a weird thing with sweets.
Okay.
Josh, you have a weird thing with everything.
That's
I
facts.
do. I do. Like I don't like frosting on cake, so like I wouldn't have the whipped cream.
So what do you have, like
Oh.
birthday bread?
Yeah.
Like what
Basically-
is cake without frosting?
Basically, like I just flip my slice of cake over and just cut it right in where the divider between.
Kind of what I do though.
Yeah.
Do you
A little
like
bit of
chocolate
frosting,
pudding
though.
like a snack pack?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you like vanilla pudding?
No.
Oh,
Never mind.
tapioca. Moving on. But do you remember your
It's not
bill?
even pudding.
cost?
It's a custard.
I do.
Okay. Whoever gets closest wins. What?
Here's what I'll tell you real quick.
Okay.
I ranked them in order as this. It went the caramel, the hazelnut, the vanilla, the espresso.
Okay.
Didn't love the
Wow,
espresso.
espresso was last.
I
Oh,
didn't.
so you ate them all.
Well, I'm not going to get a flight and only try two of them. What do
I
you want me
just
to
thought
do
you
here?
get to pick
That's
one
kinda
of the
dumb.
four.
No.
Why would
That's
they?
That's how it
know
goes.
how this.
Why would they make
Lombardi's-
4 of them just for you to eat 2 of them so they had to throw out
I
the
honestly
other 2?
thought it was the dessert tray in which you got to see.
Which I love that. I love when they wheel out the whole
then
thing and you get to hand pick. It's a great
So,
time.
Is that a thing?
No, but this was a
Well,
flight.
that's fair, but when you weren't listening to Dan's story,
Oh,
when she
100%.
said we have a flight,
He's like, I want to get through this segment, but let me like pinpoint every.
All right. Do we want to move on to a price guessing?
Yes.
Before tip or after?
Before tip.
before
This throws the who goes first.
All right.
taxes included, no tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go.
Who did it land on?
Gary won, so he's got to go first.
135.
135?
I'll say 94.
Rich?
I'm taking 136.
168.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
just
way
like
more.
my
Nice
picks.
job. Nice
I'm
job,
just terrible at
Richard.
picking.
I mean, that was quite the treat that night out to take myself out for $168 dinner.
And that Nancy girl upselled you so.
Oh,
much.
she's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'd have bought
she deserved
anything.
it. So after tip,
Well, here's what I'll tell you. I had so much food left over. Like the egg rolls, there was like 4 pieces. I ate like 1.5. So I had 2.5 left over in the giant to-go bag. I ate, I pretty much smashed the lobster bisque. There's no bringing that home.
No.
Then we got into the steak. I maybe ate half. The mushrooms and onions, I didn't get close to half. The mashed potatoes, not even close to half. And then, of course, I'm not bringing the dessert home. I tried some of each, whatever. So I had these like huge to-go boxes. I take them, I bring them back to my hotel. I'm checking out of my hotel the next morning, but I still am going to be at the draft all day. And then I am going to be making the 3.5 hour, 4 hour drive back home from Green Bay. I have this sort of conundrum in the morning. All of these deliciously expensive leftovers are in my little tiny hotel room fridge. I'm still stuffed from last night's dinner. Like I'm not even like thinking about being hungry yet. I'm still so unbelievably full from this meal I ate. What do I do with all those leftovers? It's going to be, 62 degrees out. Am I going to put them in my car? I left them.
yeah,
I left it all behind.
or throw them out today.
I left probably like $110 of leftovers in that mini fridge. It was sad. What else do you do? What do you do in that situation? Rich, do you have any advice here? What do I do in that situation?
In that situation, what you need to do is make sure that I'm available to go on draft weekend, and then I will eat the rest of the food with you, and it won't cost you an extra dime.
You know what? You bring up a great point. And next time I cover my very first NFL event again, we'll make sure we coordinate that
Or if
properly.
Gary, you always finish your steak because that's the most important thing.
Hey, I saw Sports Illustrated at WWE events. If you ever get that call, you know who to bring.
Oh, dude, he's giving you like.
Hold on. This is SIWW. Let me ignore that.
Could you imagine like 3 months from now? There's like that.
Yeah. Wow. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Good times.
Draft was a great time. I
Did-
made a video of the whole thing. I think it's up on SI now. I sent it over to
I can't wait to
it was-
watch
it
it.
was-
You
gang.
sent it to me on
Yeah,
text.
that was
I couldn't
cool.
watch it yet.
It's kind of fun.
I can't wait.
Rich,
Dan,
I don't
did you
think I sent
hear
it to you.
anything about the Shooter Sanders thing at all? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
You know what? Because I was like searching a lot of this stuff, trying to learn what's going on, my algorithm flooded with draft material, which was surprising because this isn't the first year there's been a draft, but it's the first time it made it into my algorithm. And I was hearing a lot of news on this Shedeur Sanders situation, or Shedeur Sanders gate, if you will. But Rich, give me a little bit of your insight as somebody who's really following football and actually understands remotely what's going on. What's your take on that situation?
So, I mean, it was pretty crazy, right? Because you had everybody was saying he was going to go top 5, and that's where he was going to go. He's going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks drafted, and overall top 5. And then all of a sudden, the 5th goes 6, 7, 8, 9. He starts slipping and he's slipping more, and everybody's just waiting for somebody to draft him. And then all of a sudden, round 1 is over and he's still on the board, and everybody's like, "Wow, this is crazy." But then the problem is you've got round like 2 and 3, and really, like, there's no quarterbacks really get drafted in round 2 and 3 ever. There's position players usually. So now he slipped all the way through 2. Now he slipped through 3. Then the next day, and he slips all the way through 4. And so he went through.
Now he's in like a free fall at this point. Just
oh my goodness,
Tom Brady standard.
Terminal
He didn't get drafted on
velocity.
Thursday, didn't get drafted on Friday, and then he's not till round 5 of on Saturday. Like, it was. Yeah. So for somebody to go 5th overall and get slipped all the way to 5th round, it was absolutely crazy.
Do you feel like his quality of play deserved to be a 5th round pick? Do you think his quality of play, he's a 1st round pick? Like, where do you think he should have been picked? Take all the hype out of it, who his dad is, all this other stuff, his rap career and everything else he's got going on like that. Do you think he's a 1st round quality player? Where do you think that should have landed?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You're a football player, yes, but you're not just only a football player. You're also behind the scenes and all of that. You're a teammate. You're as well. You know, you only play football for one day a week, right? For 16 weeks and then plus playoffs.
What an easy job.
No, not at all. But, you know, so all of your other antics, that factors into it. You know, you got Deion Sanders, you know, one of the most electrifying players ever, but he's also got a lot of loud opinions. So now if he's playing somewhere and now he's a backup quarterback or even if he's a starter and they're not winning, now is Sanders chirping all what the coaches are saying and doing, you know, so
writing a rap song about it.
Right. Well, but even his dad chirping about, hey, I've been to the show. I know what they should be doing and they shouldn't be running these kinds of plays, you know? So that, I mean, that's a whole thing and that's a real thing. And then when you add on top of it, he wasn't playing in an SEC school. So he's not in the big Alabamas or Georgias or something like that. You know, he was at Florida or Florida State College, you know, like that's FCU. Yeah. Florida.
Oh, no
Florida
kidding.
College University.
He didn't go to Colorado?
Colorado, yes, Colorado. Thank you, but it's like CU, whatever it is. It's Colorado,
one of those
Thank
dumb
you.
ones.
CSU.
CSU, that's what it is,
CSU.
Right. So the
Right.
thing is him going to that school, like he's not playing those big, huge teams week in and week out. You know,
That
so
makes sense.
like,
Did he get drafted before Tom Brady? Because that's the only thing about football really I know is that Tom Brady got picked like what 6th round, 190 something.
yeah, I do believe because he went in the 5th round, so Brady went in the 6th round. But you got to remember though, Brady, yes, I'm not going to say he's the GOAT. I don't want to hear all it. He's
Okay.
not. He's the most successful quarterback. He's not the greatest quarterback. But
It's the only
even with
argument
that,
I need,
when he was
Sean.
Second hot take today. Second hot take.
when he's
Woo!
when
That
Brady
side of the
started, he
room
wasn't
is
that
just
good. He
dealing
really
him out
ramped up.
today.
He became better as he got older and things like that. He really matured and he did become better.
And he
to
got
being one of the
substantially
greatest.
better looking. Have you seen any of those like old photos versus now? It's like
It's all
this is
that
proof,
avocado ice cream,
that
Tom Brady?
being super duper rich does make you look better.
right?
That's why I look like
Did
hell.
you guys ever see Ted 2?
Yeah.
The scene
I'm so
in Ted
dorky
2
right there.
when they're trying to get you know,
They're basically trying to inseminate somebody's girlfriend or something. They're like, hey, go up there, like, you know, get it from Tom Brady. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, you do it. He's like, dude, I got these little bare hands. You got real hands. He's like, you got a picture of this dude on your wall as an adult. Don't tell me you don't want this. He's like, okay, I want this, but I don't want to mess up.
Speaking of NFL draft picks,
Thank you.
we got to get into our picks for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson, formerly
Yes.
known as the AT&T at TPC Craig Ranch, McKinney, Texas.
Back to golf.
Did you have to read that? 'Cause
I-
that was a lot.
I totally did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh, for preparing all these nice
Nicely done.
show notes.
Thank you.
the purse, I think, is like over $9 million. I mean, that's a pretty good purse.
9.9.
It's a
For
signature
everybody?
event.
And you could round it up to 10 if you're allowed to bet on yourself, but you know, you can. So it'll be at 9.9 and we'll leave it there. Well, Rich, so we have to settle the tie
Go on.
before we can, you know, get into this whole thing. Josh, what do you got? Do you have any way we could settle a tie amongst Rich
Well,
and I?
We can't do Rochambeau because of the delay.
Correct.
So I have this random number generator here.
Oh,
I'm
we do little
going-
odds or evens?
The odds are
Or do we have to try and
evens.
guess what number the random
Oh.
number generator is going to generate?
We could do that.
768. I'm off. Okay, go again.
All right. Here we go. Let me.
Let's do odds and evens because let's
Make
do
the
odds
max 7 million.
Yes.
I don't want it. Can't be 1 through 10.
No. 1 through a million.
7 million.
7 million.
Also,
1 through
letting me-
9,900,000 for the purse.
9,900,000 is what we won through.
All right.
Thank you.
Also, whoever said there's no names on this tournament was a lie because there's a lot of good names.
All right. So what are we doing here?
Rich, you want odds or evens?
I'm gonna take evens.
Evens, perfect. And I'm an oddball. All right. Wait. Is there a practice generate or we just
No.
like best of 3?
No.
Just a
Best
1
of
and
3.
done?
Best of 3.
Best of 3? Is there a bracket?
It's best of 3.
Okay. Well, there was a bracket and we're already at the end. Got it. All right. All right. I'm odds. You're evens. Best of 3. Let it rip, Josh. Even. It's terrible. This
That
is
was one and
rigged.
done, right?
All right. Change the max. No. All right. Let it rip again. Go.
Go.
Let's go. 1 to 1.
1 to 1. 1 to 1. 1 to
I'm
1.
rooting for
Now,
Dan.
Here's the thing. Is this thing like in a cycle, like it goes odd, even, and I'm just
I don't
automatically
know. I
out?
hope so, though.
Oh.
Just because he's still Scotty for me.
All right, here we go.
Drum roll, please.
Not a chance.
Oh, that failed.
Thank you, Gary.
Even.
I knew it. Go one more. If it's odd, we'll know this thing's rigged.
Yeah.
All right, it was even. It's not rigged.
I was going to say,
There
just
we go.
toss the
Fine.
pencil up.
So wait, you won? You get to pick before me, or you won meaning you've lost less than I have, so I'm picking sooner.
Well, I picked
All right,
before
wait,
both
what did we
you
do
guys.
last
Did
week?
you rationalize it to work out for you?
kind of.
Nice.
No,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think I'm not because we did it last week. I won this, so I got second place in our overall point standing. It was Gary first, me second, you're third, and sorry, Josh.
All right, just tell me when to pick.
All right, it's my pick.
All right.
You know, there's not a lot of people in the field this week.
Oh,
Everyone has your own copy except for Rich because he's not in the studio. But
Okay.
I am gonna.
It was emailed to him.
I'm just gonna use a shot in the dark here and go with Scotty Scheffler.
Imagine that. Oh, okay. I thought you were really going for another shot in the dark.
Yeah.
That is my
So,
shot.
so
in the dark.
Scheffler is heavy favorites this week. He's plus 200
Oh.
or he's plus 280 to win. Jordan Spieth is 1,800, 22, 25, 3,000. So like just Scheffler is like heavily favored to win this week.
Very
Yeah.
fair. Who gets the next pick?
You do.
I do?
Yeah.
All right.
oh yeah, I won and lost.
So obviously the number 1 golfer in the world is already out of the options list.
I got him.
The number 2 golfer in the world is not participating in this.
That's correct.
All right.
Do
What?
you have any questions on what DraftKings is giving you?
All right. Yeah. Who's
the
got the
circle ones are the best ones, probably.
who's paying the least? Because that means they think they'll win.
Scotty.
Well, Scotty Scheffler. There's
Next.
plus 280.
Next.
Then you got Jordan Spieth.
oh, come,
he's at
who
plus
thinks Jordan
1,800.
Spieth? The guy hasn't won in like 5 years.
Honestly, because of that, I think maybe.
No, but you know
So-
what I think? I think a bunch of idiots bet on him, so it just looks like there's like a bunch of action on him.
You should
Dude,
totally
I
pick 'em.
cannot even pronounce the next guy. It's Sanjaya Im.
Oh, Sung J M.
Yeah, but this
Yes.
is a Texas hell the vet.
Then Byung
dude had wrist
Hung
surgery
An,
like 10 minutes ago.
Don't care.
Tyler Pendrith, Soo Woo Kim, which actually
Siwoo Kim.
Soo Woo Kim's been playing pretty good.
Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass.
I don't know what that's from.
The
Tom
Ryder Cup.
Speed Ryder Cup.
Tom Kim
Which
as well.
makes
Dan
you should pick
Burns,
one of those
Ben
two.
Griffith.
If I don't pick Spieth, are you going to pick him?
He's one of my two.
Who's your other one?
Siwoo.
No. I wanted to
Siwoo
rob your
Kim?
pick, but I don't want either of those guys.
Tom Kim's not too bad. He's top 10, I think.
Dude got last like 2 weeks
Yeah, I'm
ago.
not picking.
Yeah,
I love Kim,
he
but
lost
nah.
14.
You got Joel Dahman, you got Aaron Bailey, who I haven't heard of in forever. George Speed, Brett Snedeker, Vegas. You got Zach Johnson, Webb Simpson, Matt Kuchar are all my top. Ryan Palmer, Victor Perez, like those are all my tops from this list.
You know what? I'm
And
going to
Ryan
go for
Palmer.
another Texas pick, and I'm going to go with old Willie Z, Will Zalatoris.
Ooh.
You know what? Is it my turn? Has
Uh,
to be, right?
Yeah. No.
Wait,
it's Rich's turn.
Rich, the tiebreaker.
Try to
with-
steal it.
He's 12. Yeah, I was sitting here quiet. I was hoping he was going to give up his pick and see who he wanted.
Who do you want, Rich?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, oh, that's a great pick, Gary, but it's not your turn. So
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was sitting there waiting quietly.
Teacher, you didn't assign us homework. Oh, yeah. All right, Rich, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Jordan Spieth, he is sitting there. You know, I think I'm going to go with Siwoo Kim.
Nice.
Ooh.
Or he's sixth overall. That's where he's favored.
Well, you've always been a big Siwoo Kim guy. I mean, I don't see why not.
Like I like Siwoo. I mean, Siwoo Kim's played a couple good rounds.
I never trust what Dan says anymore on this thing.
Thank
Like
you.
he's so excited.
What do you mean? What do you mean this thing? Like he's always like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like on here, it's a little like different.
it hurts more because it's loud and you have headphones on.
And it's going to be on the
Well, we're
internet.
like way nicer. Anyway, moving on.
All right. Rich got Siwoo.
I'm picking Jordan Spieth, Texas, baby,
All right.
All right.
forever.
Jordan Spieth. All right, so yeah, he's 2 overall. So we got 1, 2, 5, 6, and Dan was pretty low, weren't you? Who'd you take, Dan?
You took Will.
Willie Z, Will
Here,
Zalatoris.
I can give a rundown. Let me give a rundown real quick.
All right, give us a rundown really
so
quick.
my first pick, Scotty Scheffler, then Dan with Will Zalatoris, and then Rich with Siwoo Kim, and then lastly Gary with Jordan Spieth.
They're solid picks. I feel like, I feel like everybody's got a decent horse in the race here, if you will.
So Josh, you're plus 280. Dan, you are plus 4,500.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
To win is
I'm
bad.
plus 3,000, and Gary is plus 1,800.
So
All
lower,
right.
better.
So I've got the biggest long
Lower-
shot here.
Yeah, the lower the number, the better.
And what's the lowest number?
280,
And who is that? Scotty.
Scotty. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice pick, boss.
All right. Well, hey, guys, I had a game all lined up for us, but
I'm just totally
Show
kidding.
went
I'd have
long.
picked him too.
we're out of time. I got to save it. But do you guys want like a little teaser of what the game is? We're going to play it next week.
Absolutely.
Go on.
The name of the game is called What Does Gary Think?
Oh.
I know. We got to save it. We don't have time. We've used it all up. The internet's going to be full with the length of this show.
5 minutes.
So good.
I know. That is going to be the name of the game. We're saving for next week. It's going to be a
Hopefully
great
some
time.
people throw some comments in there.
That'd be
for
great.
What questions we should ask.
And we will truly find out what Gary thinks. And do I explain how it works? Gary, do you understand how this game works? Quick rundown. There's random questions.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with the real answer is. I'll ask a question. Here, I'll give you just a little teaser. I'll give you a taster. Little taster taste.
One.
Okay, here we go. When you win the Masters, you're responsible for paying for next year's champions dinner. How much does Gary think that bill comes out to be? Gary writes down his answer, doesn't tell anybody. And then we all write down what we guess that Gary thinks that amount is. The real answer doesn't matter. You don't have to fact check
This
it. You
is
don't have
a
to look
real
it up.
thing.
Yeah, it's a total game.
You have to pay for the Masters dinner.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You didn't know that?
I thought you just got to
I
pick
didn't
what
know
you
that
eat.
either.
No, they give you a
What?
bill for the whole thing, including like the
No way.
expensive wines, and like some guys
So
will
it's
do
like
that.
getting whatever, not rewarded, but like punished for winning, like a hole in one. You got to pay for. Okay, interesting.
Well, yeah,
But
like,
you can afford it, but still.
yeah, like you're
That's
winning.
so interesting. I
Your
had no
winnings
idea.
from the year before are actually like per diem to pay for dinner the next year.
Oh, okay.
Which I did not know that either. But the beauty of this game, though, is it doesn't matter what the real number is.
Doesn't matter at all. We don't
Doesn't
have to
matter
fact
at all.
check it.
So we'll say it's $100,000 for the dinner. It doesn't matter if Gary says 10 grand or if Gary says 200,000. It's whatever Gary thinks.
And whichever of the three of us are the closest to whatever Gary thinks, you win the point for that round. Great game. We are all here just trying to guess what Gary thinks about some super duper random stuff. We're going to play it next week because we're all out of time. Boys, is there anything else you got to squeeze in before we wrap this thing up?
Also, not looking it up.
Huh?
I'm also not looking it up.
What the answer to how much the Masters
Yeah.
dinner costs? Oh, yeah.
I was just looking
you're,
up,
You're for
like-
sure not looking
No,
it
no,
up.
I swear.
There's not an answer
I would
to
never.
it.
Yeah. All right. We're good. We covered it all.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yeah.
We're prepared to press stop soon?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Come
Can't
back
wait.
next time on.
The Dan's Golf World Show, brought to you by the one and only Sports Illustrated.